Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, the 5th day of April. Today is National Flash Drive Day. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
It's like a thing you plug in your computer.
Yeah.
Save all your stuff. It's also National Go for Broke Day, National Caramel Day, or Caramel Day. Depends on how you say it. It's also Read a Roadmap Day, National Raisin and Spice Bar Day, National Deep Dish Pizza Day. We'll circle back to that. And National Nebraska Day. Deep dish pizza. We went to Chicago, like in the city of Chicago, and ordered a Chicago deep dish pizza.
I didn't care for it.
When the guy delivered the pizza, he handed me the box. I almost dropped it. It was so heavy.
It was so heavy.
I like deep dish pizza. This deep dish was so deep. It was like 3 inches deep.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
I was like, that might be a bit much. This is almost a cake at this point.
Yeah.
So, hey, we got a really fun thing today. We're doing another hashtag comedy call. We've got funny man Kevin Bozeman joining us. You may have seen him, like I did, on Last Comic Standing back in 2015. Also, over 7 million views on his downloads of the Dry Bar Comedy. I love that. That's good,
I know you
clean
do.
comedy.
You watch those all the time.
Oh, I haven't watched one in like 2 months now, so maybe I'll do that later today. I've got a real fun interview with funny man Kevin Bozeman on today's John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. A study at Imperial College London has created a substance called Alcosynth. It mimics the effects of alcohol on your brain without damaging your body. The goal is to provide the relaxing and social lubrication qualities of alcohol without hangovers. So if this becomes a thing, if this becomes popular, no more hangovers, Heidi. Imagine that.
That would be amazing.
I wonder what the stuff tastes like, though.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. It's that's what they're working on in college these days. Thanks for listening to Surveys and Studies and Such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. An Ohio man denied ownership of the socks on his feet. Police discovered they had some cocaine in them. 20-year-old Damian Clark, he was driving.
I don't know where these came from.
I don't know who those are. 3 a.m., they pulled him over, and they said, smell some marijuana in here. We've got probable cause. You mind if we search? And they searched, and they found marijuana on the floorboard. And then they found some cocaine in his left sock, and he said, oh, these ain't my socks. Really? He also had 59 Xanax bars and more cocaine in his pants. Well, these ain't my pants either. No, he said, someone gave me the pills to hold. We were at a party. They seized $761 in cash, an iPhone, and a whole bunch of drugs. He got himself in just a little bit of trouble, so that's not a good idea.
Even if somebody says, here, hold my drugs,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
No, do not, under any
circumstances. That's not
circumstances.
going to help you.
It's a bad plan. That's what happens, though, when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast did not support Lisa Vanderpump at the opening of her Las Vegas venue. She said the ladies did not attend because she forgot to send them the email invitation.
Yeah, that might.
If you didn't invite them, please don't be sad they didn't show up.
That might keep somebody from attending.
Yeah, maybe. Have you ever had something where you're thinking, I wonder if I was supposed to be going to that? You didn't get an invite, and you're like, I'm going to not go.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to show up and then have them say, gosh, I didn't even invite that
like,
person.
What is he doing here? You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Like, why not? If my ex-wife is getting married, I'm going to be there. The HBO series Sex and the City is being revived as a TV series and will focus on married women in their 50s. So that's coming soon to a HBO
I didn't like
TV
the
near
first
you.
Sex in the City, so I don't think I'll watch the second one.
There you go. And for those of you who are fans of The View, there's a new book out called Ladies Who Punch, and it's all the wild backstage exploits of The View. There you go. It's all happening on big
No
screen.
interest in that either.
Thanks for listening to Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Here's a fun trip back to the 80s.
Surely you can't be serious.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert May 3rd and 4th. Hang out with other 80s fans.
International language of love.
Meet several 80s icons from the movies and rock out to awesome music from the 80s. Flock of Seagulls, The Romantics, Mr. Scandal with Patti Smythe, Thomas Dolby, Pretty Poison, and more. See the full list of bands and icons at RadioTravelGroup.com. That's RadioTravelGroup.com.
Now, your scoop of the day brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. The FAA is investigating a technical glitch that caused electrical problems and delayed thousands of flights around the country. This happened Monday. It was a bad deal. Southwest and Delta had no computers. JetBlue had no communication software.
That's scary.
That is very scary. So this, luckily, wasn't a bigger deal than it could have been. The U.S. military is...
Makes you wonder if that was a trial run for something bigger later.
Well, here's the thing. It happened on Monday. You know what Monday was? April Fool's Day. It was April 1st. So there were some people thinking, okay, it's like a joke. Who's pulling a prank? And maybe there was a prank that somebody pulled that knocked all the stuff off. There was also a radio group that lost like a whole bunch of computers all in one day, and it all happened on April Fool's Day. It makes you wonder if there's some, technically smart person that knows how to go in and hack stuff that did all of that. I hope not.
And planning for something really bad coming up. Because
not.
could you imagine if we lost everything?
Yeah,
like
that'd be bad. U.S. military is exploring a way to use living sea creatures as underwater spies that could track the enemy's movement. So it's like Flipper.
Alrighty.
It's like Flipper if Flipper was an enlisted dolphin. So that's kind of interesting. Burger King, I've been seeing this on social media, and I don't know what to think about it. They're testing a plant-based meat with a new thing called the Impossible Whopper. And it's there's no meat involved. It's all like plant-based stuff that they grind up and turn it into a meat-like substance. I don't know if that's a good idea, if that's not a good idea. I know on Facebook I've not read many positive comments, but you don't typically read a lot of positive comments on Facebook. You notice people seem to be more angry now than they used to be?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that is. There's a group...
Because there's so many stupid people out there.
Well, that could be part of it. But it just seems like there's more and more people that are upset about things. New York City passed a congestion pricing tax, charging drivers $11.50 per day to enter the city below 60th Street. The charge comes in addition to an $8 toll at the bridges and tunnels. The new tax is supposed to raise money for trains and buses. So there's folks that are not too thrilled about all that. The good news is there are more and more people who are doing like online work where you can work from home. And that if you can do that, by golly, that's the way to go, because then no commute whatsoever. CEO of Facebook, his name is Mark Zuckerberg. He's back in the news now. He was in the news last year because he was sitting in front of the government regulators.
Right.
Remember that?
Yep.
And he was trying to explain to a bunch of old people how the internet works. Well, now he's actually calling on government regulators to monitor the contents of his site.
That's not good.
Because he's basically saying, you know what? It's out of my hands because I can't control what people are doing. But you guys, as the government, maybe you should step in.
No, that's not good. We do not want internet regulation
I don't think
at
that's
all.
a good plan because it's a freedom of speech thing. And I understand there's a slippery slope there, but by golly, this could be I've got a link to the story. You read it. I'm going to just not even chime in on my stuff. Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger is set to undergo heart surgery today in New York City. Doctors expect him to make a full recovery, so that would be really, really good. And there's some people that were upset about the fact that they had to postpone the tour.
Yeah, I mean, if
the dude's going in for heart surgery.
Right, exactly.
Did you want him to die on stage? Would that have been better for you, big fans? Oh, he should have died on stage instead.
We've been at a concert where somebody passed away after a show.
It was Starship, and it was It wasn't during the concert. It was right afterwards. A guy died, and they
So no,
hauled
health
him away.
comes
So
first.
that's bad. Yeah.
If you ever want to be able to see them again, you got to let them take care of themselves.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are wanting to move to Connecticut and live in the home that 50 Cent owned, too late. He just sold his Connecticut mansion for $2.9 million. He bought it from Mike Tyson in 2003. He paid 84% more in 2003. So he took an 84% loss when he sold his mansion in Connecticut for $2.9 million. Thanks for listening.
What he did to it. Did he trash it?
I don't know. Maybe the market must have just
Or
changed.
maybe the
apparently.
name recognition isn't there for
I don't
him
know.
like it was for Tyson.
I have no clue. I don't know what is going on. I've got a link to the story in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? Afraid to open your own mail or even answer your telephone? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. You have rights, and we'll make sure you get them. Call and speak with Mike Habib, the tax expert who will handle your case at 877-78-TAXES or online at myirs.taxrelief.com. That's 877-78-TAXES or myirs.taxrelief.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We got a special guest joining us right now, Kevin Bozeman. Kevin, how you doing, man?
Fantastic, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic as well. Now, people listening may know you from Last Comic Standing. You were on there. You did really, really well on Last Comic Standing. What year was that you were on Last Comic Standing? It was a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, 2016 or 2015 was the last season. So, yeah, that was the one I was on. It was fun. It was a great experience.
What was that like? You're up against a bunch of other really good comedians as well, and you kind of get to know these people, so you kind of got to be rooting for them, going, man, I hope they do well, but you want you to do, even better.
No.
You don't want them to do well.
For anyone to do well? No. Ooh, you don't want to do well. Maybe you should sit this one out. Maybe like I don't root for anyone. I'm not. Like, I want people to be at their best, but I'm cool if they're not.
That's awesome.
Like, I don't lose sleep over someone that's, like, not at their best. That's part of the game, man. You got to be prepared. Like, so, no, I'm not rooting for them to be at their best. But if they are, then fine. I'm prepared. But if not, great. I'm trying to. Fame and fortune comes at a price.
Yes. It's not easy to get up in front of a crowd of people, even just in a club, and tell jokes. But when you're doing that on a television program like that, with millions of people watching, how different is that for you, like in your mindset, when you're setting up to do a show like that?
When you're a narcissist, it fits perfectly in your wheelhouse.
That's awesome.
When you want people, when you've been preparing to just, it's so fun to, like, trick people and to thinking you're having a conversation with them, but you're the only one that's talking. And the bigger the stage, the better it is. So I love it. I love stand-up. I love the art of it. I love to come into town where people don't exactly think and look like you and still make them laugh. It's such a great job.
And you do a darn good job at that great job as well. Again, our guest right now, Kevin Bozeman. And in addition to Last Comic Standing, I really enjoy Dry Bar Comedy. I see that on Facebook all the time, and you've done such an amazing job on there. Now, that's a little different scenario because it's all clean comedy. So is it hard to do comedy clean?
No, basically, if I know what's being asked of me before I do it, then I can do it. But if I was about to get ready to walk up on stage and they're like, hey, man, be really clean, then it's like, we're going to have some problems. But I knew in advance what it was about. It was easier to do, and I got, one of my videos, I think, has got like over 30 million views now.
That's awesome. And you were on Star Search.
Oh, yeah.
That's been over a decade ago now. So how different is it from the days when you walked up?
Don't try to date me. Don't try to make me older than I am.
I mean, he's
do
just
not
a kid.
Do that.
He's just a young pup. But how different is it nowadays from when you first got that big break to be on Star Search compared to what you're doing today? Is it night and day different, the comedy business?
First of all, I want to say to your listener, it was the Arsenio Hall CBS Star Search, not the Ed McMahon Star Search, which will put me around 70 years old. It was the new Star Search where, like, Bruno Mars and stuff was on it.
Nice.
When he was a kid. But don't make me that old. But the experience, it's all building blocks, You on TV, so I did Comedy Central. I did Star Search. I did Laughs, which is a comedy show on Fox. I did Last Comic Standing. Now I did Dry Bar. It's just doing things to get your name out there and, once again, enjoying your craft. So they're all different, and they all are special to me in certain ways. But put it all together, it's a pretty nice little run I've had.
Absolutely. We're talking right now with the young and vibrant Kevin Bozeman. Did I do better that time?
young at heart, my man. Young at heart. I'm at the age where the mom and the daughter are both attractive.
There you go. See, it's a good age to be at.
By the way, that's as creepy as I get on your show. That's as creepy as I'll get.
Thank you so much for chatting with us, and I'm going to throw a link on our Facebook page. Thank you so much, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Again, Kevin Bozeman has been our guest. We're also going to throw a link in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com to all of his information, tour schedule, all of that. So you'll be able to find that in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A giraffe can clean its ears with its tongue. Not only are they the tallest animal in the kingdom, giraffes may be the most creative, fastidious. What is that? Creatively fastidious? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Using their 21-inch tongue to clean their own ears.
Wow.
So big, long, licking their ears, and that's kind of, ugh. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine wanting to lick my own ears.
That's kind of what I was thinking. It's pretty nasty.
That's kind of, That's our fun fact. Kind of a yucky
I
fact.
suppose. How else are they going to do it?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not like
they
they
don't
have opposable thumbs and use a
Right.
Q-tip. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Here's a fun trip back to the 80s.
Surely you can't be serious.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert May 3rd and 4th. Hang out with other 80s fans.
International language of love.
Meet several 80s icons from the movies and rock out to awesome music from the 80s. Flock of Seagulls, The Romantics, Mr. Scandal with Patty Smythe, Thomas Dolby, Pretty Poison, and more. See the full list of bands and icons at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Now, fear this. Time for fun with phobias. Geliophobia or geliophobia. I don't know. It's Geliophobia. We'll say geliophobia. What do you think it is?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Fear of laughter. Not going to...
Oh.
Hey, you're safe here in this program. You are safe right here. Oh, Heidi, careful now.
Okay.
Geliophobia or geliophobia. Today's fun with phobias.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. A sheriff deputy in Minnesota responded to a complaint of a vehicle swerving all over the road, and when they pulled this vehicle over, they didn't see a six-pack on the lap. They didn't see a case of beer. They weren't drinking right out of a Jack Daniels bottle. No, there was a pig on the dude's lap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Said it was kind of shocking. He had this 250-pound pig on his lap.
Oh, my gosh.
In fact, it was leaning against the steering wheel, and it was muscling the steering wheel, the guy was, just to stay in his own lane.
So it wasn't even just a baby pig. It was a full-blown pig.
It was a big old pig. The animal-loving motorist told the deputy he was moving to the north shore of Lake Superior and did not want his pet pig to get cold during the trip.
Oh, my gosh.
So he did let the driver off with a warning. He also warned other motorists who might take their affection to their pets a little too far that be careful out there. Don't put them on your lap. Put them on the passenger seat. Buckle that pig in, and you're going to be just fine. I don't know if you can do all of that, but that's today's Weird News. Brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A Wisconsin man was arrested after he pulled a gun and demanded $10,000 from the Community First Credit Union in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh.
So that's a bad plan.
Yeah.
Teller handed Zengali Yang the money, and I don't know if I said his name right. We'll just say Mr. Yang. Mr. Yang zip-tied her hands before leaving the bank. Police arrived. They spotted Mr. Yang walking away from the bank wearing black clothing and what appeared to be a ski mask. They stopped Mr. Yang to question him. They searched him and found a modified .22 caliber rifle with a round in the chamber, extra rounds of ammo, zip ties, and cash. He admitted to committing the robbery and told police he, quote, decided to try something new today, so I robbed a bank.
There you go.
He claimed the robbery...
Expanding his horizons.
Not a good plan. He said the robbery was not planned, but he couldn't explain why he had all the zip ties and extra ammo on him. He was taken into custody. Bad plan, by the way. If you're looking for something exhilarating, go for a jog. I mean, don't rob a bank. Bad idea. If you do, you might end up here.
And if you do, when you leave the bank, you take the ski mask off if you're trying to look nonchalant.
Hey, don't try helping, Heidi. You'd be an accomplice.
Just say, what an idiot.
You end up right here in today's moment of duh.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, these three things. Heidi, what do these three things have in common? A rabbit, a man, and corn plants. A rabbit, a man, and corn plants. Also dogs and other critters.
Ears?
Yeah, ears. I helped. I pointed to my ears. You looked very confused. So a rabbit has ears, a man has ears, and corn plants have ears. A lot of other things have ears, too, just for the record. Women also have ears. Thanks. Just want to say, make sure we cover that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of radiotravelgroup.com. The big trip to Las Vegas coming up less than a month away. All of the details at radiotravelgroup.com. Take a listen to this, Heidi. A 13-year-old son trades his Xbox and earns some money doing yard work
this story.
to buy his single mother a car.
I absolutely love this.
I do too.
What a great kid.
A teenage son in Nevada is rightfully earning praise after his hard work and sacrifice allowed him to purchase a car for his mother. Crystal Peterson is a single mother. She lives in Fernley, Nevada with her 3 children and 3 dogs. Her family recently started over from scratch. Her son, the oldest son, 13, William, was keenly aware of the mom's struggles. She said, he was tired of seeing me cry. William earned a little extra money by doing some yard work for people in the community, and he had seen people on YouTube surprising their mothers with cars, and he thought, you know what, I want to do something like that.
Yeah, I love this kid.
He found a person who was willing to sell him a white Chevy Metro. He found the person on Facebook. He said it was really cheap, so I asked her if I could trade my Xbox or earn it. And at first she said no. Then she thought about it and said, yeah, I'll do that. Soon, William's dream became a reality. He says, Mom, I got you a car. And then she said, no, you didn't. And then he said, yes, I did. And she didn't believe me. She picked us up and we went to her house. And then I said, Mom, there's your car. So how cool is that? I love this story.
Great kid.
The story goes on. There's more to it. If you want to read all of the details in there, I love that. And I also want to make sure we say, got to say kudos to the lady that did that.
Oh,
for him,
absolutely.
Too.
Good for her for
because she sees
to
this
help.
message on there. He's going, hey, I'll trade an Xbox and I get a little bit of money. And at first she said no, because you got to be thinking, what kind of scam is this? But she's like, oh, wow, what a cool thing this kid wants to do. He couldn't have done it without her help. So I think that's really cool that they both were playing a part of that.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I love that story so much.
I've got a link to this in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.